This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You greatly appreciate it. Come on in, make yourself at home. You know the routine. This week takes me to a unlikely place, Walmart, to find movies. I don't think I've purchased a movie from Walmart probably over a year. Matter of fact, I've even tapered down a lot of my purchases. Most stuff I get online, unless it's something like groceries, milk, toiletries, toilet paper, etc., etc. So, but whenever I go there, peruse the video section, actually found something I was looking for that's on my Amazon list at a very reasonable price. So, very happy to pick that up. Have some Pawnshop pickups. Have my classic pick for the week, a Kino Lorber, my 3D pick for the week from Turbine. So, not a huge pickup though, but it's not the quantity but the quality. But before I get into what I picked up, not only do I collect movies, yes, I'm one of these weird, wild individuals actually watch them. And on a weekly basis, I like to share some of the things I've watched, either physical media, streaming on the Fire Stick, or actually live in the theater with my family. I'm going to kick it off with some physical media. This is the 2019 comedy drama fantasy romance, Larry Gale, Renegade Flight Attendant. This was directed by Sam Friedlander, produced by Mark Feuerstein, written by Mike Sikowitz. This stars Mark Feuerstein, Jessica Lowndes, Stanley Tucci, Christopher Fitzgerald, and Taye Diggs. The plot behind this: a self-anointed renegade male flight attendant must save the day when the airline he works for tries to eliminate the flight attendant as a cost-cutting measure. And silly movie, I would say, is somewhat in the vein of Airplane, a little bit more vicious on the comedy, a lot of jokes about male flight attendants. Um, the protagonist is really kind of an asshole, and I guess he's supposed to be a likable asshole, which is debatable though, but actually has some laugh out loud moments. Very silly, again, it's in the vein of Airplane. So if you like that type of silly, quirky humor, definitely check out Larry Gale, Renegade Flight Attendant. My next pick is another physical media pick. This is the 2007 comedy crime thriller You Kill Me. This is directed by John Dahl, produced by Al Corley, and written by Christopher Marcus. This stars Ben Kingsley, Téa Leoni, who used to be married to David Duchovny from The X-Files, Luke Wilson, Dennis Farina, Philip Baker Hall. The plot behind this: while drying out on the West Coast, an alcoholic hitman befriends a tart-tongued woman who might just come in handy when it's time for him to return to Buffalo and settle some old scores. And this is a gangster movie with dark humor. Ben Kingsley kills the deadpan humor, playing the gangster, an alcoholic gangster, basically trying to get clean. Téa Leoni kind of plays this somewhat lonely woman who's looking for companionship, and they kind of meet. I love the music behind this. The music really goes well with that kind of gangster, mobster vibe with a dark comedy twist. Again, Ben Kingsley kills it. I've loved Ben Kingsley doing gangster stuff since he did the movie Sexy Beast, which you definitely need to see. Great movie. But if you like that mobster, dark humor, almost similar to, I think, De Niro's The Family, that kind of mobster humor, definitely check out You Kill Me. My next pick, something I actually watched online. I believe it was on Max. This is the 2025 American science fiction thriller Companion. This was directed and written by Drew Hancock, produced by Ralph Margulies. This stars Sophie Thatcher. You might know her if you've seen the movie Heretic. Jack Quaid, Lucas Gage, Megan Surrey, Harvey Gullin, and Rupert Friend. The plot behind this: young woman Iris recalls meeting her boyfriend Josh for the first time. Later, they travel to an isolated lake house to meet friends Kat, couple Eli and Patrick, and Sergey, Kat's boyfriend who owns the house. And I'll stop right there. I don't want to get too much plot away. Initially, when I saw this or saw the cover art for the movie, I thought it was a horror possession movie. It's not. It's much more than that. I can give you a couple movies that I can directly compare it to, but that'll kind of spoil it if you don't know the real plot of the movie or the real twist in the movie, though. But the real twist caught me a little off guard, though. Loved it. Great movie, great twist. Trying to think of one of the directors. I can't think of the director of the movie who did this one, though, but it's been done before, but not in this way. Very fun movie. It's actually a little bit of science fiction in there, so that's a little hint, though. But great movie. If you like science fiction horror, deadpan humor with a bit of a twist, definitely check out Companion. My last film is the 2025 American horror film Sinners, directed and written by Ryan Coogler, produced by Zinzi and Ryan Coogler. It stars Michael B. Phillips, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Catton, Jack O'Connell, Wunmi Mosaku, Jamie Lawson, Omar Miller, and Delroy Lindo. You might remember Delroy Lindo from Malcolm X. He played Malcolm's kind of mentor in the numbers game. But the plot behind this: in 1932, identical twins and World War I veteran Smoke and Stack returned to Clarksdale, Mississippi after years spent working for the Chicago outfit. Using money stolen from gangsters, they purchased a sawmill from a racist landowner, Hogwood, to start a juke joint for the local black community. Their cousin Sammy, an aspiring guitarist, joins them despite his pastor's faithful Jedediah's warning that blues music is supernatural. And again, for anyone who's not familiar with what type of movie with it, I'm not going to spoil it for you, though. But I'm going to use a term that I got from Cal's Daily, from Cal's Daily, a YouTuber. I consider this elevated horror. It's not scary, but it tells a story. It's entertaining, and I've heard people mention the movie Sinners, and the one word I keep hearing is very layered. I mean by layered, it's more than a horror. It tells a story about Jim Crow, blacks trying to make it in Jim Crow, the obstacles they had to overcome, and some of the ways they used to cope with their situation, blues being one or music being one. Great movie. Enjoyed it a lot. Ryan Coogler did an excellent job of capturing Jim Crow South in Mississippi. I should know because I was born in Mississippi, raised in the Midwest, went back down to Mississippi to go to college, and have relatives down there, so I frequented Mississippi a lot. And a lot of the areas now in Mississippi look exactly like they did back in Jim Crow days, which is very scary. But great movie. Michael B. Jordan did his thing. I love the character he played. It was so easy to overdo the southern drawl, but he did it perfectly, playing Smoke and Stack. Again, don't want to give too much away, though, but if you like elevated horror with a little bit of history, very music oriented, the movie has some great music in there, some blues in there, has some Irish songs, Irish folk songs in there. So overall, very beautiful movie. Can't wait for this to come out on physical media. The theater that I was in, the picture wasn't that great, so I would love to see the colors and how he actually brought that part of the country to life, Mississippi to be specific. So that's the movies I watched for the week. Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. Have my Walmart pickup here. Have a couple pickups from a couple weeks from Cash America Pawnshop. I have my classic 3D pick as well as my 3D pick for the week. So let me get these scanned in and we'll jump right into it. Hold on. I'm going to kick it off with what I picked up at Cash America 1 week. Kevin Spacey, Kate Winslet, Laura Linney, and The Life of David Gale. This slow drama. I have a copy of this. Don't have the original, so just upgrading from a bootleg copy to original. So a blockbuster release here. The Life of David Gale. Artwork is a little jacked up on the back though, but it's still getting better than what I have right now. The Life of David Gale. Picked up Justice League Unlimited Season 2. And there's a bunch of these. Justice League, the original Justice League. So quite a few of these. I'll still have to find Season 1. And of course, this was Universal. This is Warner Brothers, Justice League. And I have seen this movie almost every week I go to the pawn shop. I saw this on another YouTuber's page, Movie Bay. He says it's a good movie. No Vanessa Redgrave. I think that's the only person that stands out here. Looks like a Victorian type of picture. This is Sony, Columbia Sony picture. So, but he says it's pretty good though. And judging from some of the things he has on his channel, I think we have similar taste. So, I'll give this a run. And for the price, it's definitely worth checking it out. Anonymous. And on this trip, for these three, I paid a whopping $266 with tax and everything. So, balling out on that one. Next is another trip. Again, I go to this particular pawn shop every week because every time they have something a little different out and it's real close to the house. Secondly, Cinderella 2 and Cinderella 3, which I've never seen. And this is, of course, Disney. I have the Blu-ray and the DVD, 2 movies on 1 disc. And for this, I paid a whopping $2, and I have May 21st, May 22nd on there. They're supposed to be getting a box of new movies, so because I go there, they like to tip me off incoming movies I might be interested in. And what I picked up at Wally World, Walmart. Again, I was very shocked to pick up anything at Walmart. The double disc Rodney Dangerfield Back to School and Easy Money. Back to School is hilarious because they have Sam Kinison on there. If you don't know who Sam Kinison is, YouTube some of his old stand-ups. Dude is foul-mouthed, disgusting, irreverent, but he is hilarious. He used to actually be a Presbyterian preacher. I've actually heard excerpts of some of his sermons though, but very happy to get this for the price. It's an MGM release. I have the DVDs of these, but not the Blu-ray. And I think on eBay, this is going for like $20, $25. On Amazon, like $15. At Wally World, $10.61. So $9.96 plus tax, $10.61. So that's what I picked up at Wally World. And my 3D pick for the week. This is another Turbine release. They're cranking them out with the 3D movies. I checked this out. It looks pretty decent with the depth. Didn't see any pop-outs, but I haven't watched the whole movie though. This is Mission Impossible Fallout. And they have some more that I plan on purchasing. Probably 3 more I'm gonna get. And it's actually much cheaper going directly to the website as opposed to getting them on eBay. So it's my 3D pick for the week. And for my classic pick, We have the Kino Lorber, Tommy Lee Jones, and say it with me now, Samuel motherfucking Jackson in Rules of Engagement. And let me get my Wesley Snipes so I can open this up. Hold on. I have my Wesley Snipes, aka the Real Blade, my Billy Bob Thornton sling blade here. Let me be very careful not to cut the slip cover here. And I actually picked this Kino Lorber up at the Kino Lorber sale for $10. So, and Kino Lorber, very interesting boutique label. Some labels from 10 years back you can still get a reasonable price, and some are out of print and they cost an arm and a leg. Some of them are higher than Giraffe Booties and Heat. So, but Rules of Engagement, excellent film. I haven't watched this in years, so really looking to getting back into this, watching it on Blu-ray as opposed to DVD. And this is my pickup for the week. Not a huge pick, but you know, as I say, it's not always the quality, but the quantity. But I have some bangers in here. Let me get these separated, the disc from the artwork. A couple of these might make the shelves and get you good people on your way. Hold on. I have everything scanned into my CLZ Movies app. C is in Cinderella, L is in Life of David Gale, Z as in Zulu Down. Let's knock this out. I have everything laid out, ready to be put back in its proper place. As usual, I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, leaving comments. If you made it this far, smash the like, give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone, please be safe. Deuces.